This is Smithy.tv.
Hey, this is Kenny Robinson. Thanks for coming by, and you're listening to me breaking down the news. Saturday night, I saw this great news piece or documentary on Global TV about the new trend of teenage girls running away from home to join ISIS. That's right. We used to worry about pedophiles online now. Now we have jihadists. And apparently the jihadists are the hottest because they promise these girls they will love them forevermore and that they will marry them. And this is even scarier than when we had the vampire craze, okay? Because at least before, if a girl thought she was in love with a vampire, we could eventually say to her, honey, there are no vampires, okay? If this man that you spent the night making love to told you he had to be home by daybreak, it's because he had to get home to his wife and his children. All right, let's call it for what it is. But now they're willing to run away across the other side of the world and become sex slaves and or die early. And I'm thinking, like, they sure have changed since I was a teenager. Whatever happened to teenage girls running away from home and blowing a trucker in exchange for some bennies or and a ride to Saskatoon or maybe Calgary? Whatever happened to the girls taking off and joining up with Conklin shows and becoming carnies and coming back with a new tattoo that horrifies their parents? Or the old standby, whatever happened to these girls running off from home and joining up with, getting boyfriends that are in some bands now. And then they come home with a bad case of scabies and a collection of CDs that will never be anything more than drink coasters for the family. It's tragic. I mean, maybe I think the problem lies within the fathers and the boyfriends, you young teenage boys. What is it that's wrong with your game that these young girls think they're better off with some man on the other side in a desert and everybody's wearing black over their faces in the sun and they're going to go and blow themselves up? But we have to think of what's happening with our society. I mean, just recently, Jilly's, the famous strip club, closed down. And they used to advertise 21 different girls a week. Well, now with Jilly's being gone, that's 21 less places for these young girls to land, which gives ISIS and Al-Qaeda and all the others another opportunity to recruit. So I don't know if I have any answers, but parents, here's something to look out for, okay? If your teenage daughter is no longer cranking up music that you can't stand, but at 5 in the morning, you hear the calls to prayer coming from her room, you might have a problem. If your teenage daughter used to dress up in little slutwear from the garage and from Le Chateau and all these other places that used to make you think that you had to ground her or send her to an all-girls Catholic school or maybe even an aunt that owns a farm somewhere in Alberta, and if she's changed that for dressing modestly and trying to cover her hair and her ankles and doesn't want to leave the house with anybody else other than a male figure that she's related to, you might have a problem. Dads, brothers, we got to spend more attention on the girls in our family. Sure, it's great to go to Junior's hockey game, but he's not taking off on the road to join up with a terrorist group. If he is, we're just happy that he's looking for gainful employment. I'm Kenny Robinson, and that's Breaking Down the News.